So, debunking sales funnel myths, whatever,
Yeah.
mids. So, in today's episode, in today's training, Nancy and I are going to talk about, obviously, what we've been told that is wrong about sales funnels. And there are specific, obviously, some mids that we want to kind of go over, and there's four in particular that we're going to cover in today's episode. But before we dive in, we want to invite you to a brand new free workshop that we're doing from September 23rd to the 27th. It's from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live and recorded. And it's called Scale Your Business in 5 Days Workshop. So we're going to be teaching you all the things, the framework, the foundations of what it really means to scale your business in 2024 and beyond. So, debunking the sales funnel myths. Number one, more traffic equals more conversion. So I'm going to jump in on this first really quickly. Now, I'll say this, not all traffic is created equal. And a lot of people think that it's a numbers game, right? And you hear, the more eyeballs, the better, the more this, that, or the other, the more traffic, the more conversions. And Nancy and I transparently will tell you that that's not the case because we've had sales funnels in place for years, but specifically for some of our workshops, where we'll do a paid workshop, and just to let you guys know, we'll have 100 people registered, and that will lead to almost a 15 to 20% conversion into what we're offering, which, just to let you know, the average conversion rate is 1 to 3%. So almost 10 to 15 times greater than the normal percentage. So this whole notion that the more traffic equals more conversions, it really depends on your network. It depends on the quality of the traffic and the connections, but also what you're offering. Nance, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, I don't think we need to go too much more in depth. When you create a sales funnel, I think one of the most important questions that we ask whenever we're getting ready to get all the pieces together is who is it that this sales funnel is going to be best for? I think in the past, I've seen a lot of people create generic sales funnels where, they treat it like well, it's good for anyone and, whatever. And it really doesn't resonate with anyone. And it doesn't make it optimized, right, for conversions, for doing the things that we want. Are we getting people in it? Sure. But are we actually communicating it with the right messaging? Are we really digging into the pain points of specific individuals? And so, yeah, myth one, right? More traffic equals more conversions. Not always the truth, right? We got to make sure we have the right traffic.
Now, the second myth is the quote unquote one size fits all funnel strategy. What that means is if you follow the XYZ funnel strategy, you're going to get ABC result. And what I will say, plain and simple, is that depending upon your network, your offering, your business, what you have at the end of that funnel may look different. That strategy that you may deploy may look different. So the strategy that someone may have for their funnel as a coach and consultant, for example, may look completely different to someone that has a product-based sales funnel, like someone that's selling a tangible good, health and wellness products, compared to someone that's maybe running a mastermind or a group coaching program.
Absolutely. And, here's the thing, you are going to know your audience, or you should know your audience better than anyone else. Okay. And even guys, I know we can go into AI and we can ask some pretty basic questions and we can, dig into some of the things and the research that's already out there. Trust me, I'm a huge fan. But there's nothing better, right, than actually reaching out and finding out where your people are at in their journey. And it really, really, really impacts how you're going to build out that funnel and how you're able to optimize it for a conversion. Okay. So when we talk about the one size fits all, in fact, that's why, even in our program, we have a mastermind program, Expert Authority, which we're actually going to be opening the doors soon to. We really focus on walking through what that customer journey looks like from discovering who you are to getting very tangible on what is going through someone's mind, right? What are the tools that they need? What are the next steps? What are the courses, the conversations? What are those next little milestone points that we can keep them moving forward without one, overwhelming them, and number two, making sure that they know we have got them. So again, there's always a rhyme or reason to some of the things that we put together, but using just an all-in-one funnel strategy should not be the go-to, okay? And customizing it for your peeps is huge. So yeah, we can dig into number three now.
Yeah, so number three is automation is the magic bullet. Now, I will say this, and I'll turn it over to Nancy really quick, is that when you have a funnel strategy, it has to be what we call the a hybrid funnel strategy. So it's part automation, part human touch. There needs to be an element of you, the business owner, in everything that you do. If you just want to hit that easy button, like in the Staples commercials, where you're just automating every single process and that's really it, you become detached from your business. And the more removed and the more detached you are from your business, the more removed and the more detached you are from your ideal client and potential customers.
Yeah, and I just want to jump in and say, one thing that I have found time and time again, trust me, we work with a lot of people. Whenever it comes to high ticket, programs, for example, a lot of people who are newer, right, newer in this space, newer to coaching, consulting people in that way, they want to, and they still think, right, that people just will purchase this high ticket program without ever speaking to someone. And look, does it happen? Yeah. Okay. When you build the street cred and the credibility and you've got the testimonials and people have done their research, some people, yes, do click on the buy button, but almost always, and actually even for ourselves, we want to have a call with someone because number one, it allows us to really assess and to see what's going on. And number one, for us, make sure that it is a good fit for our program. We don't want just anyone joining. We've had that. In fact, Scott can probably chime in, but we've had it in the past where we have had people join and they weren't the best fit and they had signed up, right away. And then number two, it also allows us, right, to learn to have those conversations to build that know, like, and trust with the person who maybe they're coming to us from our book or maybe from a podcast episode they heard. It just gives us that chance to, build that rapport, build that familiarity and get to know them. And even some of the biggest people, guys, I have eyes. In fact, I've seen Brendan Burchard, for example, he's a motivational speaker and, business coach. I've seen his entire back end, a lot of the funnels that he has in place. In Funnelytics, it's awesome. You can kind of get some templates and some awesome things. And literally, whenever you look at the high ticket sales funnel, it might look like this, which is people purchase his book, then they take his assessment, right? They get the email, okay? Then that email prompts them to book a call. Now, Brendan is at that point, okay? His price point and his business has grown so significantly. Brendan's probably not getting on those one-on-one calls, but he's got a team there waiting to get on that consult call, okay? But everything's leading to a consult call, which then leads to yes to the program, no to the program, okay? So just know, right? Again, when we talk about the automation, I know you guys want your hands, you don't want to worry about whatever. We still have to have that human touch in certain points in our business. Okay. Number four, Scott.
Fourth and final is funnels don't need to be tested or optimized. I mean, I don't think this is necessarily a myth. I think this may be just a misnomer or a miscommunication, maybe something that people are being told, like, oh, set it and forget it and don't have to look back at it. So, transparently, Nancy and I are always looking to test and optimize our funnels. And, just using myself as an example, I have a lead magnet on my website for how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, which then leads into a 5 email sequence, and then offering the opportunity to get into my LinkedIn focused membership. And we meet with our COO once a month. It's our KPI call. We go over all the KPIs and we look at every single person that has gone through that sequence. How many people went through it? How many people opened email 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so on. So you do have to look at those things because if they're not converting, then you do have to go back and retest and reoptimize. So we always tell people give things at least 60 to 90 days, 2 to 3 months of, getting stuff out there. And again, you're not going to create an opt-in and then hope people, find it on their own. You do have to direct people through it so they can be taken through that funnel properly. So to think that once you set up your funnel that you don't have to test it or optimize it is a fallacy. Nancy always talks about that when you're an entrepreneur and you're building a business, when it comes to the different facets, including funnels, it's part art, part science, right? There's a science to it, there's an art to it, and you have to have a combination of the two. So just remember that anything that you want to really maximize in your business has to be tested and it has to be optimized. So the fallacy that more traffic equals more conversions, the fallacy of one size fits all funnel strategies, the fallacy of automation is the magic bullet, and the fallacy of funnels don't need to be tested or optimized. Obviously, we did our best to debunk those today. So as a reminder, we're doing our free Scale Your Business 5-day workshop from September 23rd to the 27th. If you're listening on the podcast, go to the description of this episode so you can just click on the link and get yourself registered. If you're watching on social, whether that be Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all you have to do is comment the word scale, SCALE, in the comments, and we will then send you that registration link to get you registered. So everyone, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Love and gratitude, and we'll talk.